They're jealous.
Yeah, they're jealous. That's a great word for it. They're jealous that I can burp on command.
Is this the start of the podcast?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
You always say this. Do you want to say the plot? Mind if I say it?
Okay, I did the plot. All right, so
Okay.
Not what I
Chris just said I haven't done the plot in a while, and you said, okay, I'll do it.
oh, I thought you said you haven't done the plot in a while.
Chris.
So I also have an I and am in my name, so I made my own. My name.
Is it like a site?
It's I am Zax Topero Jester.
And Justin.
I wish it would wipe my memory.
The episode starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia. We revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s.
Boys
We're back.
Boys are back.
We're back.
Even though you've heard us
Technically,
already.
we've never left.
Technically, we never left, but we are back now, and it's very exciting.
Wait. Hold on. Put your hands back to your face, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
What is
the bling.
what is that?
Your hands like
I can't see it
disappearing.
because you have a really bad green screen behind you. Oh,
And now you're
just
gone.
disappeared.
There it is. Anyways, yeah, I got married. It was great. And now we're here.
I wasn't
Nobody-
there.
Y'all were both there.
I wasn't
Nobody
there. How was
tripped.
it?
You both were. No one tripped. You both were there.
I wasn't there. How was it?
Everybody had masks on. You were there. Weren't you there? I thought you were there.
I don't think so.
That was awkward. Justin was there. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, I thought I was going to get an invite, and I just never did. And I assumed that it was going to be at some point. I just never was called, you know?
Right. Okay. We know this is a week late, but we all have a lot of stuff going on, so
We don't really care what
Sorry.
you think.
we're gonna try to put up 2 this week, or
Oh my
2
God.
next week, or 2 the fall. At some point, we'll catch up, but we are a little behind, so we apologize in advance.
We don't want any messages complaining because, frankly, we don't care.
It's Chris's fault. Just everyone needs to know it's Chris's fault.
I'd
Chris
like to
did
point out-
this.
I want to point out the Sunday before this episode was supposed to come out, John said, "Are we caught up?" And we all realized we were caught up, and we didn't have an episode for this week.
I just want everyone to know that I pointed this out. Like, it was
You pointed
me
out. You
that
pointed
is
out.
worrying about this podcast. Everyone else is worried about their marriage and their jobs and their lives. And yeah.
All you care about is this
All I
podcast.
care about is this podcast. Like, the only thing that I care about is this podcast.
Well, we have a lot of news to catch up with. We'll talk about all the news we
Oh,
missed.
God.
Sure, I
Nostalgia.
guess.
All right, play the theme.
Yeah.
Play. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go.
All right, you don't have to. All right.
So bad news. The creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender left the Netflix live action show.
Even more bad news, they haven't canceled it yet.
When Justin texted me that, the
I did?
the
Okay.
Avatar. Oh, was it you?
That was Chris.
Yeah.
All right, when Chris texted me that, the creators of the Avatar live action that's on Netflix have left the live action show. They were the producers, right? And they left the show
They did like overly the entire thing. Yeah.
because them and Netflix had a disagreement of where the show should go,
Yeah.
and that
That's
was
not a good idea.
that the creators of the freaking show
One of the greatest shows ever.
left the live
Yeah.
action because of disagreements of where they needs to go.
Yeah.
Netflix is a fucking idiot.
What did you
Like,
think they wanted
what-
that Netflix pissed
was-
Netflix off?
I was about to say, what did they want that was so outrageous? And Netflix is like, no, we can't do that. And
I
they're
think-
like, well, we need to do this. And Netflix is like, no, like it's 100% no. And they're like, no, fuck you. And then they just left.
What I
What
think
could have
happened,
happened?
What I think happened, because usually this is how it goes. Normally, creative stuff can be worked out between, companies and artists. I'm sure that happens all the time. I think this is down to money. I think when they signed on, they were promised a lot of money for their live action stuff, and now, Netflix is just borrowing and hemorrhaging cash constantly. And my guess is they promised 3 full live action seasons, and I have a feeling they were going to do every episode live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the only reason I could think of why.
They would just throw a cartoon one into it.
Every scene with Appa is just cartoon from the cartoon.
I feel like that might
We
what
didn't have
happened.
enough money to cast Toph, so we just used footage from the show.
Also, the scene of Appa flying is just going to be on strings, so I'm sorry about that.
It's a little puppet.
Yeah, it's a little puppet.
They like bought down the street, the Nickelodeon store.
Justin, what were you trying to say?
No, I think this all came down to money. I don't think it was necessarily, creative differences. I think they wanted to do a huge live action. I think they wanted to be as faithful to the product as possible. I think Netflix said, we want to cut this down a little bit more. And they were like, no.
Oh, I see.
I disagree with that because I've heard that Netflix wanted to make this series like it's Game of Thrones type of thing, where they wanted to do the live action version of this world, and then add more onto it later on. So maybe the more added onto it later on, they disagreed with. I don't know, but yeah. I heard that they wanted to produce it like a millions and millions of dollars, like a Game of Thrones type of series, where Game of Thrones was what is it, $22 million an episode or something like that? It was insane.
Yeah, they probably should have picked a different series then if they wanted to do that, because if you change anything in this, people are going to flip. So you might as well keep it exactly as it is. And just,
but now they're going to have to change things because they're not going to have to, but they're probably going to because they left, and there's a reason they left, and I'm thinking it's because they wanted to add more onto the world.
They've kind of said that. They said they want to make it different than the series, and maybe that freaked Netflix out to make it too different than the series. I don't know, but it's very interesting and really sad. Next, in good news, Tony Hawk is coming out. The demo is now released. I played it today, actually.
I pre-ordered it.
You played the demo today? That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's going to be really fun, I think.
I pre-ordered it. I'm pretty excited to play this after it.
For anyone that wants to join Patreon, Chris actually played the whole entire... Was it the whole entire game? Well, I could only see half your glass. It's fine.
It was both 1 and... Yeah, I did. I completed all the goals for 1 and 2. Over 3 months. Took some time.
But that's on Patreon if you guys want to go check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
I'm pretty excited for this remaster because from what I've heard, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Chris, since you played it, that it's pretty much like the original.
Oh yeah, the gravity feels the exact same. And I've heard before this came out,
gravity seems to be the same pretty much everywhere.
9.81 meters per second.
That's true. Oh, here we go. What's the next decimal point, Justin?
There is no next decimal point.
There's a next decimal point.
So it's 0. Got you there.
Chris, you're smarter than Justin.
Significant figures, jerks. You don't put it on there.
But no, it feels the same. I've heard before that they were doing a 1-to-1 ratio, and I think it is. I mean, it's hard to tell, but it's just one level. But yeah, it feels great. Did y'all have more nostalgia news? I mean, a lot's probably happened that we aren't covering, but
not enough for me to care to say it.
Okay. Well, let's get into this week. Boy Meets World Season 6.
Oh my god. Okay.
When this boy meets world, boy meets world, wandering down this road that we call life is what we're doing. It's good to know I have friends who will always stand by me. When this boy meets world.
As I described it, the COVID of Boy Meets World seasons, this thing is dark. It gets some deep stuff. I liked it. What did y'all think?
This is probably my favorite season, I think.
It was funny. Every single episode I laughed twice.
Okay.
So...
Did you cry?
I didn't cry.
Okay. Were there things that shocked you?
There wasn't really a moment that I would cry. Sean's dad dying shocked me.
Yeah.
I did not think that they would go that direction.
Yeah. It's intense stuff.
Yeah. the porn star, I didn't think she was going to end up with one of them, but she did.
Oh, Rachel.
Okay, let's go. Quick fast fact. Rachel, the girl who plays Rachel, is now a porn star. She was not invited back to any of the Comic Cons or anything that they do. She's just, they kind of forget about her. She never existed.
What a turn of like career there. Boy
know,
meets
it's-
world
okay.
to porn.
I remember you saying that like a girl that's coming up is going to be a porn star, and I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way it's her." So like I googled her name,
Oh God.
which was something like Ward or something like that.
Maitland Ward.
Malin Ward.
Did you have to delete your search
So I
history?
googled her, and the first thing that popped, I've googled a couple of them, but the first thing that pops up is that she's a professional porn star now, and I was like, okay, I found her. There she
John
is.
did some research.
I did.
So-
Oh yeah. This is
So
great
here's her
research.
progression, and I find her progression very interesting. So she did this, and then she kind of like went off the grid, and then she got really into cosplay, right? And she did cosplay for a while, and then she did body paint cosplay, where she like was like
I
naked.
mean, that's
but
the
had, like,
natural progression, you know. You
It
just-
really was. It slowly became closer and closer. Then all of a sudden, it's porn. So
All of a sudden, it's cosplay, but you only have the ears and no clothes on.
basically, yeah.
That's just
Okay.
porn.
So we don't need to talk about what this meant to us. We talked about it every single time, but me and
I've
Justin
never
loved it.
seen any of these.
and John never
The
seen
only
it,
thing
yeah.
that I've seen is Fina.
Oh, That's the classic one, and it's from the season. That classic one. Yeah.
So,
Um,
is that the
we-
only
we-
time he's ever said that, or has he said that in past scenes?
He said it before, and he says it like twice. I think next season.
Okay. Yeah,
But he usually
that's-
says it outside his house. He usually goes like when he's trying to get his attention outside of his house. That's
Yeah.
usually when he sees it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is definitely
Um,
Eric becoming super dumb.
Cartoon Eric is.
This is over the top.
So,
Yeah.
this season was definitely a lot more college. Like,
Yeah.
it
Yes,
was
they
a
were
lot
in
more
college.
adults. I mean, yes, they're in college, but a lot more adults like would watch this. And then if you watch this while you're in college, I feel like at some point you would kind of relate to what they're going through.
Yeah. I think there's relatable stuff from college.
There's only one non-relatable thing, was the co-ed bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Y'all-
that
did
was
y'all's
kind of in
campuses
the
have
90s.
that?
Like, that existed, but it was kind
Yeah.
of like later on before we actually went to college.
I don't know.
Would y'all, how would y'all have handled that?
No, that would not. I think
The
I'd
exact
be
same way
Corey.
Sean did, where he just
No, I would
walks
be
right
Corey.
in and doesn't worry about anything.
I think
He's
Justin
like,
would
well,
definitely
there's
been Corey.
naked. He even tells Corey, he's like, there's naked chicks in there taking a shower.
Yeah. Wasn't that scene great when that guy's going in and they pull his towel and then Tobago comes down and goes, wow. And then,
Sean
and then
goes,
Sean,
wow.
it's so good. All right, you guys just want to bust through the episodes?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't even know
Okay.
the names of the episodes.
Well, the first
Do you have them
episode
popped up?
is the first episode is his answer. So this is right after Topanga proposes to Corey, and
Sean overhears
I love
everything.
the scene. I love the scene when they're trying to keep a secret, and then Feeney's like, "Congratulations about the graduation," and he's like, I know you know. I don't know how you know, but I know you know." He's like freaking out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he says yes, he wants to marry her. And-
By the way, the season before this, they proposed right before.
Topanga proposes to her.
Topanga proposes to Corey right before the episode.
Yeah.
During
Or
graduation.
right before the season ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but they go back to the house, and the parents aren't too excited about it. They think they're too young, and so they decide to run off and get married. This is also when you're introduced to Maitland Ward, who plays Rachel, who
The porn star.
breaks up with her boyfriend, the porn star, before she's a porn star. She's just broken up with her boyfriend, and Eric and Jack make her their new roommate.
And that's their story this season.
Because Sean runs out.
Yeah, they compete for Rachel. We don't need to talk about Eric or Jack anymore this season because that's their entire story, is competing for Rachel. No, they do have cool stuff.
Which is
Eric has
funny.
some cool stuff.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, yes, it's a very simple like premise for those two characters, but they make it very funny.
Also, the answer is easy. You pick Jack. He's a stud. No one would pick Eric.
Eric's
I do
an
wish.
idiot.
I do
Like,
kind of hate.
I know Eric's supposed to be an idiot, but he's a fucking idiot. Like, he gets annoying. that he's such an idiot.
See, that's
They
the
go a little
problem.
too
Eric's
far.
not really supposed to be that big of an idiot. You know,
Yeah.
they tuned it up. I get why they did it. You know,
So I saw an interview with Will Friedle about it, and he said that like he liked it because like he likes doing voice acting, so he likes being part of cartoons, and he feels like Eric was just kind of like a cartoon character throughout this entire show.
Yeah.
And he said that like literally it would be like the writers would say, "Hey, we wrote this. Do you think Eric? Do you think this is too much?" And he's like, "No, I'll do it." And then they would like write something else every time. He said it just up the ante every time, and then it just like you gave him like this crazy character. But yeah, I mean he has funny moments though, and he has some deep moments in this season, which we can talk
yeah.
about later.
The good thing is they do ground him. Like he definitely has this outgoing, crazy personality, but he's still that old Eric in a lot of places. Yeah. He still cares for everybody. He's still he's still pretty smart. When it comes to most stuff. And, I think Jack kind of had the worst kind of character development because he kind of he kind of turned into just even more than an idiot.
What I think of Eric like this season is in the laundry room where he's
getting seduced.
He's getting seduced.
Fake seduced.
But he's like no, I can't do this. And then like he's like talking and he's like, "Oh." Like he's an idiot.
Now
like he finally realizes that, oh yeah, no, I'm not myself. This is what I need to be. I need to be myself around her. That's just like the premise of like. I feel like he learned that for like 5 seconds that he needs to be himself, but the whole entire rest of the season he's not himself.
He goes back. Yeah. So Mr. V's also retiring right now.
Yeah, for now.
for a couple episodes. But they're mad that their parents are saying no. They think they're stupid, so they run off and they go to a little chapel. And in the chapel, Corey says yes, but then Topanga says no.
Even though Topanga asked Corey to marry him, she says no. And he said he drove 1,000 miles to get married. I would be fucking pissed if this happened to me.
Yeah, it's very annoying. And it's funny how like he got over it pretty quickly, but I'd be pissed. I would be pissed the entire ride home.
So fucking pissed. I'm like, you don't fucking talk to me the whole entire way that we were driving.
Here we go. But they get back to the house.
But
trying to have like a little.
Chris, you can. I'm not saying you can relate to this, but I'm saying you would be pissed too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It would take the entire way home and more for me to get over that. But they get home.
That's hours of driving with someone that just told you no.
I would hope he was exaggerating, but yes, it would be annoying. But they get back to the house and they're having like a fake party for him, but the mom's not happy, and then they find out they didn't really get married, and that's about it. I mean,
okay, I gotta say last thing about this episode because it's one of the funniest things that I've laughed at this season is when Eric's reenacting everything that happened that the mom said at the very end of the episode. Like, you need to play this clip. It's so funny.
Well, it's the mother's turn, and I do want to say something. I have watched these two grow up. Boy, have I. And here they are now, adults, just fresh out of high school. Don't know anything about the world at all. I'm sorry, I can't do this. This is a mistake, and I do not support it. Why couldn't you have just gone to Yale?
Hear, hear. Well, I guess it's time for Feeney's favorite student to make a speech, huh? For 40 years, I have watched you educate young men and women. Boy, have I. I'm sorry, I can't do this. This is a mistake, and I do not support it! Why couldn't you have just gone to Yale?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I know we need to get to like main characters and plot and everything like that, but he is my funniest character this season. Like, I laughed at so many things that he did.
Yeah, and it's his lines. Like, he delivers the lines really well.
Yes, he's a great actor. I don't know what his actor name is, but he's a great actor.
Will Friedle. He did a lot of voice work after this.
Batman Beyond, or Unstoppable.
Batman Beyond. Ron Stoppable. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. Ain't College Great is the next one. The first episode of College, really great episode. Also, just one of Justin's favorite lines.
Well, her answer's next, isn't it?
The
Her
pudding.
No, we talked about that one. We talked about that one.
Oh,
You brought
okay,
pudding
my
to
bad.
college.
He brought pudding to college.
Oh
My
my
pudding trunk.
My pudding trunk.
What do you guys laugh at so much at? Because I've heard you mention this before, where you brought pudding, and I didn't find the line that funny.
I don't
Really,
know
it's just
why
Justin.
I find it so funny. It was just like he had a whole trunk of pudding. Like that was
But
so
you don't
Corey.
even see it. It's just mentioned.
No, he literally brings in a trunk. The dad brings the trunk in.
Yeah, you'll know it's in the trunk.
It's just a trunk.
He goes, my pudding trunk.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it was that funny.
The dad actually directed that episode. Fun fact.
Oh, that's cool.
And then this is where Mr. Feeney decides that he's coming back because he doesn't like retired life anymore. So that lasted.
Because he went off on the actual college teacher.
No, not yet. That was later.
That's later.
That's
This is
how
when
he
he decides to come
decides
back.
that. Oh, okay. So this
Yeah.
is when Corey signs up for all these really hard classes.
Yeah,
and
right.
Yeah, like
goes to
nuclear
being
physics or
retired.
something like that. I'm like,
And the gibberish.
On the first day, we start off with and then we focus on excuse me, we have a staff meeting.
It's really great. The next one is Friendly Persuasion. This is the one where Angela and Sean break up. And Corey realizes that Angela's not her friend, or his friend, and he kind of freaks out that Angela's
So-
not his friend.
I agree with this. I agree that they needed to break up because just of San's personality, I
Yeah.
feel like he needed to break up with her to explore.
It makes sense for the rest of the season. Yeah,
Yes.
like Angela. She's a really good character.
she is.
She's got a good
she
head
has,
on her.
She has more strong stuff later on. But this is also where Mr. Feeney comes back to school at first, and then he realizes that he's going to teach. So the girl that plays the dean, who's also his love interest, is his wife in real life.
Finger.
For really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. so
Yeah,
they're
this
married.
is one of my I replayed this about 3 times. Like I went back and yes, because I just thought it was so funny.
Fine. Fine. Ow! Hey, 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 what? What? Hey! Ow! Ow! Dude, let's go.
So then you have the episode that really we only watched it because of Justin's favorite line. It's better than your average Corey. This is where he meets a art prodigy, and so a little bit of history on this episode.
What is
so
she seems familiar.
that is actually that is a real person, Alexandra Nachita, and she actually painted that painting that they were looking at.
Okay.
She was on Oprah. So it's weird to me the little girl comments. But she was actually the age of Morgan. She looks like she's like 10 years older than Morgan.
Oh, she's
but
super fucking tall.
Yeah, she's very tall.
Like,
but she's,
okay,
yeah.
I'm not saying that to be exaggerated. Morgan in the show is about probably around 3 foot. She's
Yeah.
5. She's
Yeah,
5
Corey's-
foot something.
Corey's like your little girl, and she's almost the same height as Corey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you
Um,
compare her to Morgan, and there's about a 2 foot difference.
Yeah, for sure. And they're supposed to be the same age. So when I was little, I was like, there's no way they're the same age, but they really are. So it's interesting. But yeah, she's a real person. And then Justin's favorite line. You want to explain it, Justin?
This is me, Mr. Average. My room here is a shrine to my mediocre life.
Oh, let's stop right there, okay? You don't have a mediocre life.
There's nothing about me that separates me from anybody else.
It's my favorite scene, but he's just standing in front of this picture of celery. I don't know why this is so funny.
There's nothing that makes me stand out. He's standing in a picture of celery in his room. It's pretty
It's so
great.
stupid. It's so stupid.
Sorry I made
It's
you
so
watch
Corey,
it, John.
though.
Yeah. Sorry I made you watch it, John.
But there is a really good scene with him and the dad here
Yeah.
in this episode because Corey's thinking about himself and like how average he is, and then he blames his dad because of how average he is, and he goes, "You're an average dad, so I'm average."
Yeah.
And I actually ended up like texting my dad after this, and I was like, "Hey,
Did you?
Yeah, no, for real. Like, because his dad brings him to a place that his dad used to work in.
My first job was sweeping up this store. I took over after my father retired. He spent 40 years with a broom in his hand. Wish he could see all that I have now. Why are you so ashamed of being average? Look at this place. I'm not ashamed. Look at this place. Touch it. What? Touch it. Get some dirt on your hands. Try and see what average looked like from here. To me, average was a dream. That's why my father worked his butt off, so maybe his son could have something more. And I learned from him, Corey. And I respected him because he did the best that he could. And I was proud of him. And he would have been proud of me too. I don't know, maybe if my son thinks average is nothing, then I've done my job. But I'm sorry that you're not proud of him, of me, and of yourself.
But yeah, no, I ended up texting my dad. I was like, I'm so proud of like how you raised me. Thank you so much.
Seriously. It's a really good scene. I like that scene a lot. The next episode is Hogs and Kisses. Probably the most iconic line from this entire show is on here. John, do you know what it is?
Underpants.
So, everyone loves Stuart.
The first of the dark episodes. This is the this is a Me Too episode. Pretty ahead of its time.
This is weird.
Yes.
A teacher, Mr. Stewart, he hits on Topanga.
Fred Savage.
Pretty progressive. Pretty aggressive.
Yeah, very.
His brother, no less.
Yeah, his brother in real life. This is Fred Savage. This is Ben Savage's brother, Corey's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in Wonder Years before this. He's a good actor.
Okay. I've seen him before in stuff, but no, like 100%, definitely over the line. Like if this happened in real life,
Corey
he
pushes
did it
him.
Very smooth too. I was like, damn, like that.
He's got some game.
but it's so wrong.
Like, oh yeah, it's very wrong game, but it is game. He blurred the line very well, where you couldn't really tell like if he was actually being an asshole, but he was,
Yeah.
The best part
like
is
that's
when
what
Eric
I'm trying to say.
comes
I'm not
in.
trying to say like doing that kind of stuff is right, but I was like,
right.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was like the writers did a really good job, very good job of blurring the lines of like, hey, if this is like sexual harassment or not.
Yeah, and Corey confronts him, and he pushes him, and then you're about to bring it up, Justin, but this line is really funny. Good.
Is it a line? Oh, I just thought when Eric comes in with the briefcase
no.
and plays the music.
I was going to say first, when he first comes into the parents' room, Eric, and he goes, I saw that guy. He struck Corey. And then he's like, no, I hit him. He goes, oh yeah, that dude sailed. He gave a high five.
I like when he comes in with the Law and Order
I laughed
music.
at every single episode at least once.
And it's usually
at least
Eric.
twice.
Yeah.
Every single episode.
But yeah, and then they do like a little court review of what happened, and Eric comes in with a little boombox.
Just opens it, turns it on, closes it a briefcase.
Well, this is the episode where kind of Feeney recognizes that he can't really be there for everyone, and they even say in the episode like, "Hey, we need to. We're adults now. Like we're in college. We're adults, and we need to. Like no one's gonna really save us from everything." And that was I didn't mention this earlier, but like that was like a really good realization when it came to Corey in one of the other episodes, like earlier episodes, where he was like, I fucked up, but I need your help, and like his guidance counselor was like, no, that's not my job, like that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah,
I just thought it was like a really good realization, and like I related to that. Like when I got to college, like I wasn't really prepared for 100% like no help from kind of anyone really.
Yeah, well, and it's the whole like realization too of like they thought he was so much cooler than Mr. Feeney, and then he turned out to be a creep, and then like they're like, oh yeah, Mr. Feeney was right the whole time,
Well, that's what and that's what a teacher's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a more of
not
an adult figure.
Yeah, not
within and that's how you're supposed to see them. You're supposed to see them as like an authority figure when it comes to a teacher, not a friend.
Yeah. The next episode, we skipped one, and then we watched the Poetic License. This is the episode with Sean's poetry.
Which I 100% agree with why Sean was mad.
Oh, yeah. Corey went way too far. Way
Yes.
too far. He signed him up for poetry, a slam poetry thing, and we tried to read it.
Sean writes poetry, by the way.
Yeah. And we tries to read the poem. He freaks out, and then he realizes that the poem is about Angela. Angela slaps him pretty hard. And then Sean lies about still having feelings for Angela. So now Sean has feelings for Angela, and she doesn't know. And Angela has feelings for Sean, and he doesn't know. And they're kind of playing dumb.
What's gonna happen?
But but like Sean, he goes like, you cross the line, and Corey's just like, yeah, I crossed the line. I'm sorry. And he's just like, no, you crossed the line. And I feel
pissed.
I would be so fucking pissed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If one of you guys did that, I would be so pissed at you.
Yeah, it's a weird thing where Corey is trying to do the best for everybody, but he definitely went too far. It was a good acting scene by Sean too.
Yeah, like you get. I felt like he was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also shows that
Like an
even though
actor.
they're like so close, like
Yeah.
he can still do enough to screw things up with him.
Yep.
Like that, like you said, that was pretty dumb by him.
Yeah.
It was.
a
It really was.
dumb move.
Next one was it the Santa?
Yeah, so we skipped an episode, went to Santa's Little Helpers. So again, we're going to keep going down the deep stuff. This is, where pretty much the main story is Eric meets a kid named Tommy, who is an orphan. He comes back throughout the season, but, and also at the same time, Corey's trying to get Sean and Angela together.
There's lots going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. I didn't really feel that much connection to this episode. I mean, it was. I don't know. It wasn't really like an impactful. Like I know I felt emotional when it came to just. This was one of the 2 episodes, I believe, that I guess God was referenced. Or
yeah, Eric prays at the end.
Yeah, so Eric prays to God at the very end, like asking like why you brought Tommy into my life. And then there was another episode with a painter girl.
Yeah.
She goes that God gave you like a voice, you need to use it. And
Yeah.
I know that's a lot different now because you don't really hear God brought into like TV shows now.
When it happens in a couple episodes later with the baby, but
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy scene where Eric is sitting out in the snow, like trying to figure out like he's like, why did you bring me that little boy? It's pretty sad, but
it is very sad.
it's a good episode. So next episode is when Sean's dad comes back, and him and Jack are really excited, or Jack's really excited. Sean's skeptical; he's not going to stay around, but his dad, Chet, is saying that he's going to stick around and actually be around for forever. I guess he's going to not move around anymore. And then he gets a job offer from Vegas, and he's pretty pumped about it. And then he has a heart attack, and he dies.
Does he have 2 in the episode?
He has one. He's in the hospital, and then he has like a realization that he is going to stick around. Sean's like, I need you here. You're the only one that can help me right now. And then he dies.
Yeah, it was so fucking unexpected. Like I don't know, like if you guys expected it, like watching this when you were little, but this is the first time me watching this. I did not expect that.
This season is just punching Sean over and over and over.
It really is.
Just punching him in the balls.
It's literally like it's the let's see how much pain we can cause Sean.
It really is.
Because a lot of this stuff isn't his fault.
No. It's a pretty crazy episode. It's very good. It's very good.
I mean, yes, very goodly, like goodly is that word. It's very good when it comes to like writing.
Yeah.
Very unexpected. Again, like thinking back behind it, like now I feel like there was probably little hints within the episode thinking that he probably wasn't gonna make it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
watching it now, I did not see it.
It was pretty blindsided, I think, but it's intense. The next episode is when Sean's getting ready to leave, and he's like has to clean out the trailer and stuff with Jack. Something kind of funny. So Chet, the guy who played Chet, he's been in the show since the 2nd season. You know, he's been in every once in a while.
Yeah.
And he filmed this, and he was really sad about it. He, also it was an emotional scene, but he said he went back to his trailer and started crying because he was emotional about it. And he said that the creator of the show came and knocked on his trailer. He said, "Yeah, we need you back next week because we're gonna have a scene of Sean leaving, and we want you to be in the Imagine him next. He's like, okay. Yeah. He's like crying. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But then they had the road trip.
This is Jack's best episode, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is.
We actually finally get a straight Jack instead of like the cartoonist version that we give him.
And it's sad. He's just trying to like learn who his dad was because he never knew him.
He's back to the character we were introduced. Jack's probably my least favorite character besides this episode, just because.
Why?
Well, just because they kind of took away from what Jack was. Like Jack was kind of the straight man for a long time.
You mean straight man, Justin? If you were in a show, would you be the straight man?
Me? I don't know why I would be. I'd be probably the weird one.
you the Dwight Schrute.
Not that. I'm not that weird. But
yeah,
my problem is just that they kind of took away what made Jack a really good character for a while, because Jack was very sensible and very straightforward. Like especially when he met Sean, and now he's just kind of the foil to Eric. And this one brought Jack back into the forefront to where he should be. Is that kind of, relationship with Sean. They needed Sean to be living with Jack again, I think.
Well, it's worse too because.
So you're saying Corey's not enough for him? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that
influence on Sean.
I'm saying that them as brothers living together, I really like that dynamic.
Yeah.
Of them trying to work that through.
And also, it's not bad. It's not good that like next season they really like just destroy Jack. Like they make him not a good character at all. He's very unlikable.
He just becomes a douche.
Yeah, yeah. So look forward to that, John. That's gonna be fun next week.
Great. I'm so happy.
So the next episode is Road Trip, and I knew you guys were pumped about seeing the band Nobody's Angels perform, which apparently is the name of that girl band.
100%. 100%. I was so pumped.
I have all their albums.
We want to dedicate this song to our two wandering guests.
You're coming back home with me.
Hey, I want to hear them sing.
You are.
I heard about it, and I could not wait till I got to this episode.
Wasn't that a terrible scene? They had like a full song that they played, like auto-tunes of them singing in the
Which was
background.
really weird.
It was really so jarring.
Yes.
Weird. Yeah. But we'll put a clip in so everybody can go download.
Just go right ahead. It's fine.
Nobody's Angels. There's not really much to talk about other than the fact that this is where Corey lets Sean go on his little road trip to learn who he is.
Yeah.
But fun fact: the guy who plays the band's dad. Do you look familiar to you guys? He was Babe Ruth in Sandlot.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah. All right.
Yeah. I definitely remember
when
that.
Did oh god, when did Rachel and Jack get together?
Yeah. So
last episode, Jack was crying in Rachel's arms, and they kissed, and Eric walked in.
Yeah. We missed.
And now they can't stop kissing.
So much kissing.
I mean, okay, hey, so I'm not gonna lie. She's a porn star now. Like, I understand that. But, like, watching her, like, she's very good looking in this show. I felt like.
As in Wedding Crashers, man, funeral chicks are horny. And that's exactly what happened at the end of that episode.
I think it's very weird that she hears everything that they're saying and still sticks around with it.
The creeps.
They're very creepy. They're like, yeah, no, I'm fighting for you, and they're like, no, like, and they sexualize her so much, and she's like, haha, I can hear you.
Yeah,
and they're like, okay.
It's weird, and then she's like surprised that one of them likes that they like her. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's.
Next episode is My Baby Valentine. This is where Corey really wants to have a Valentine with Topanga because they haven't had one, and again, it's Corey going way over the top. But I do like the pizza guy stripper.
Episode.
This is so ridiculous.
Hot slice for Amy Matthews. But her water breaks, and she goes into labor way too soon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of where the episode ends. But yeah, Corey's very excited about his Topanga Valentine. And then the next episode is Resurrection. This is where they don't know how what's gonna happen with the baby, and Corey's still only thinking about the Valentine's Day.
Not about his what is
Brother?
it? His brother? Yeah. Not about his
True.
brother that is about to
Fighting for his
die.
life.
Right. There's
They
some
do.
great
They
scenes
do
in
have a
this.
good little reconnection to the old lipstick scene from season
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. Did they show it? I forget. Did they show the scene?
I don't know, but I know she did the little dance with
You
the
show the
lipstick.
scene, Chris. You show it.
No, I mean the scene of when they did it in season 1.
I
Like, who was
don't.
supposed
I
to
can't
sit
remember.
on? I don't remember either. But it's interesting. And then you have.
I don't think
yeah,
I
it's
watched any other episodes other than that, other than the last 2 after this. I don't think I. Oh no, never mind. I don't think I watched 18. I'm looking at it right now. I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Which one was this?
Can I
Oh,
help
no, we skipped it. We skipped
to
it.
cheer? Okay, so
The
I
next episode's Be
watched. I
True.
watched True. Be True.
Yeah. This is
Right.
where Corey and Sean do an elaborate plan to get Feeney and the Dean back together. And it's pretty great. Them in that archaeologist area is
And the
pretty funny.
brain.
Her first human brain.
I like that scene with the brain, and then when Corey picks, because they're like, it's the first brain.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't believe he has the first brain, and then he picks it up, and you hear the audience go, ew.
Yeah, there's slime coming off. But it's pretty funny, and then he grabs the bee and it stabs or it stings him, and then he falls in love with the Dean, Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney falls in love with the Dean. She's a hottie.
She's a hottie.
She's hotter than Rachel. Let's be honest.
That's another great scene though. Is Eric after he's like, if you two are ever gonna start going at it, I need a signal to leave. Let me know. They made 2 more episodes left. The first one's a psychotic episode. I just like this episode because Lauren comes back in his dreams, and you have the weird roommate that Eric lives with.
Oh, okay, so I like the scene when Eric's with the strange roommate that keeps all the dead people, but I also like the scene where Eric moves in with Corey and Sean, and he has posters of himself just like this everywhere.
Right, it's great. And the last one is State of the Union. So this is the episode when it's Feeney and Dean's wedding, and Topanga's parents come. John, did you recognize her?
Which is I was about to say it's Clark Kent's mom.
That's right,
It's Clark
Smallville.
Kent's mom, yep.
So it's really funny. So they're actually married in real life, the couple.
Oh yeah.
And they had just gotten married right before they filmed this scene. So they had to go to a couple that was really unhappy, and act like a couple that hate each other.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny. But yeah, they're married in real life.
How many parents does Topanga have now? It's got to be her fourth set of parents.
3.
I think it's 3.
She's had the actual rock star from the Monkeys.
Jedediah. Yeah, from the Monkeys. Yeah.
And then there was one before that, and then it's this dude. But this dude's a famous actor too, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Michael McKean. He's in Better Call Saul right now, but he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He's not in a lot of movies, in a lot of TV shows, right?
Yeah, and he plays Perry White in Smallville. He comes in season 3 and plays Perry White.
He does.
Yeah.
I wonder if they met. Oh no,
Yeah.
that wouldn't make sense because they're married.
What was I say about this episode? Yeah, and, they get married, and then Topanga starts to question if she wants to get married because her parents are really unhappy.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. They come back in the next episode, literally the next episode, and they played by 2 different people again. So
the next episode.
Why can't we keep
Topanga
wait, straight?
Hold on. Season 7, episode 1. The parents are played by 2 different people.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Look, man, this show was never supposed to be rewatched again. There was no DVDs at the time. They're people forget what they look like, and they just put in 2 other people. I agree. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I've never seen someone switch more often than they switch Topanga's parents. I think it's just an ongoing joke that it's just gonna be different people every single time.
It might be internally hey, we're gonna have more parents.
Well, and the moms kind of look alike. The dads look nothing alike. It's a completely different person. So.
I know, because before he was a hippie,
right? Yeah,
and playing the ukulele, and now he's an
overweight comb over dad.
Yeah.
It's very yeah.
It's just super jarring. Like, I don't understand. And like, I would say Topanga from seasons 1 through like 3 was exactly the same as her dad. Like, she was like this hippie.
Yeah.
Like character.
Now she's like this guy, and the next season she'll be like the next guy. It's very weird.
It's so stupid.
All right.
I hate
we went
this
through all
show.
those. Do you guys want to do points?
Yeah, let's
I don't
do
think
points.
you do.
Plot.
I don't think you do. I think you will.
Plot.
Y'all go first. Okay, yeah.
I liked how, I mean, it's like this in every single show that we watch when it comes to, or every single season, where it's very serial. Like, it progresses through a story.
Yeah.
So, I guess the big stories like this was Corey and Topanga, like, engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Sean and...
Commitment issues, really.
Yeah, him and, like, all his issues, romantically and just, like, family-wise.
Yeah.
And then you have Rachel and Jack and Eric.
Yeah.
And then, is there another story? I mean, Feeney's kind of off to the side.
The Dean, but yeah, not really.
Yeah. So, what's the score system? 1 through 5?
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
Whoa!
What?
I mean, there wasn't anything that... The only thing that stood out to me was Sean's story. I felt like Corey and Topanga's was very bland. And I felt like Rachel and Eric and Jax was very bland. The only thing that was really good to me was Eric's arc. Or not Eric's arc, but Sean's arc. Everything else was very predictable. Like, there was nothing that kind of stood out to me when it came to the other two stories that happened. I'm not saying the show was bad. Like, there was very good things within the show, but when it comes to just pure plot, I don't feel like they went above and beyond this season.
I feel personally attacked, but okay.
That's a 5.
You don't agree with that? How do you
No,
not?
It's a 5. This is an incredible season. This is
I'm not saying that there wasn't great things that happened, but when it comes to the plot and the story, I don't feel like there was something that was spectacular.
This is a 5, Chris. Just move on from this terrible opinion.
What spectacular happened other than stuff that happened with Sean?
This is a 90s sitcom, and they like went deep in this season. They did something that I feel like is never done on these kind of shows, and I respected it for it.
What was it?
The baby. The Tommy episode, which I don't think you actually watched. I think that was the episode we skipped. But
sexual harassment.
Sean, all of Sean's stuff, the commitment issues, and then the dad dying. But yeah, we missed the episode where Tommy was about to get adopted, and then Eric has to let him go. I don't know if you watched that one, Sean.
I didn't watch that one.
So I just think they hit some deep points that was unique.
I mean, again, they hit some deep points, but it's a 22 episode season, and the deep points didn't hit every single episode. It was like maybe 5 out of the 22.
Okay.
So I'm trying to compare it to like a full whole.
Something wrong with you.
There was great episodes that happened within the 22 episode season. I'm not debating that. But when it comes to full 22 episodes or whatever that we watch, we might be watched like 19 of them, but only 5 are good. So, like, when it comes to over-the-top spectacular, like, where I'm like, it hit a point, I'm like, oh, yeah, shit. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm glad the show went there.
Okay.
Like, when it comes to good writing. So, again, I love this season. This season was great, but I didn't love it because of the writing. I didn't love it because of the storylines. I loved it because it was very funny, and it did hit some key points. But I'm giving it, like, it wasn't over the top. It's a 3.
Okay.
You're wrong, but it's okay.
All right, main characters. Let's just do Corey, Sean, and Eric, or Corey, Sean, and Topanga.
5.
You're not gonna add.
I mean, I feel like if you add Eric, you got to add the other two.
No. Sean's interest. What's her name?
Oh, Angela? No.
You have to add her. She's in most of the episodes.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. All right, we'll put him in there. That's fine. All right, so those 4.
I'm gonna go 5. Obviously, I do think Topanga had a little less to do this season. I agree. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that. Yeah. I don't think she was as strong as past seasons, but she was still really good. I think this was a very Corey and Sean centric season more than ever. But and I think it was even more focused on Sean, with Corey overreacting to a million different things. But it was great. I loved it. 5.
See, it's hard to argue that Eric and Jack weren't main characters, and Rachel, because I felt like every single episode it showed them at least half the time.
I know.
But, I guess, yeah, when Corey and Sean were together, they had very good chemistry. I really liked some of the episodes when, like when Sean lost his dad, that was a very good episode. When Sean, like, disagreed with something that Corey was doing when it came to, like, the poetry stuff, like, I felt like that was a really good episode. I liked the little secret that they had. There was a really, really good chemistry when it came to, like, not telling Sean and... Like, when Topanga knew about Sean loving... What's her name again?
Yeah,
Angela. Like, I like that story arc. I thought it was pretty good. It was really good chemistry between all of them. I really... Okay, so this is the first season I felt like that that Corey, I don't know the actor's name, did a really good job acting.
Yeah.
Every other episode or every other season, I felt like it was very mediocre. Like, this is the first season I felt like, yeah, no, he's hitting his stride. He actually is getting the hang of this acting thing.
In both of them, I mean, like, because it's a different range. Like, he went over the top really well. He went, like, mad, like, in the first episode when he's mad at his mom, and when he's, like, sad with his dad, when his dad's telling him about being, like, average and stuff. Like, he definitely got really good this season.
Yeah.
But that's acting.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if, like...
But it's still
I really felt like he was mad at his dad.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give it a 4. No, I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5.
Ooh.
No, when it comes to main characters, I thought they were very solid. I thought they were pretty good. I didn't have a problem with Topanga, honestly. I felt like every single person in this when it came to the main categories, they had a personality and they stuck with that personality. Sean's very kind of closed when it comes to his feelings. Corey's just like the fixer, like he just wants to fix all his friends. Topanga is kind of the same way. And then God, what is her name?
Angela.
She's a main character, but she doesn't really do a lot, but I feel like she's very stubborn. And she sticks with she's stuck with that very big stubbornness.
Yeah. She has a lot to do next season. She has some really cool scenes next season.
Yeah.
I would have given it a 5. Minor characters.
So this is Feeney, the parents, Eric, Jack, Rachel.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? The Dean.
Morgan. Morgan.
Yeah.
Stuart.
All right, Justin.
This is hard because Jack is probably my least favorite of all this. I almost think he should knock it down a star.
Ooh.
And I don't necessarily like Rachel.
I don't really like Rachel.
How do you not like Rachel?
I think she's a little annoying.
She's a porn star.
Annoying.
I think she's just kind of there to be eye candy.
She's supposed to be the hot, tall person, and that's like all of her jokes is about being tall, and that's about it.
I'm going to go 4 here just because of those two. Because I just don't. I don't like that whole storyline. I think it's really dumb. And then just Rachel doesn't add anything to it. She's only there so Eric and Jack can like have this battle over a girl.
But in fairness, it's only for like half the season, and then Eric kind of gets over it after.
But even then, it's still like, what else does Rachel do?
Yeah,
she's just there. She starts a food fight, which is gonna bump me up a star after seeing that scene.
So unfortunately, I think this is a 4 for me.
Okay,
it's a very high 4. It's like a 4.8.
If you could, I get it.
I mean that rounds up to a 5.
Rounds up to 5.
but he's gonna round down to a 4.
What about you, John?
Okay. Name minor characters. Are they all the ones that I named?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like the Dean that much. I thought it was a really weird story arc. Mr. Feeney which is one of my favorite characters, I did not feel like he was
He
a
had
big
much to do
part
this
of this.
season.
Yeah, he wasn't a big part of this season, which is very disappointing. I mean, the only time that I can think of that Corey like did a one-on-one was like with the Dream, when he was like making those. He had the dream with killing Sean.
He put an umbrella down his throat
and then he opened it. I'm Mary Poppins, you.
So good. Yeah.
There's another favorite line that I had with him, and it's like, he's like, I'm tired of being a third wheel. And he's like, you're always the third wheel. You're a tricycle. He goes, what would I be without you? He's like, a bicycle.
It's pretty great.
So anyway, I'm going to give it a 3 because there wasn't really anyone, because my favorite characters, which is Eric, I mean, Eric was great. I'm not gonna lie, Eric was really good, and that's the only reason I would probably give it a 3. Mr. Feeney, the dad and the mom, I didn't feel like they used them really well within the season. Like, I understand that there was different story arcs and they had to utilize other characters, but yeah, no, like, my dad's my favorite out of this whole entire series. The dad, Mr. Feeney, and Eric.
He's already saying my dad. See, that's how strong it is. That's how great of a dad.
We all feel that way at the end of the show. He's
definitely
all our
100% my favorite people within the season, and they didn't utilize either one of them. Like all.
Well, Mr. Feeney's role was supposed to be going down too.
I mean, I understand that, and I understand that they had to utilize other characters within the season, but we're talking about this specific season, so I know why they weren't utilized, but they weren't utilized, so I'm going to give it a 3.
You know, I was going to say 5, but I think you guys convinced me. It's probably a 4. But I'm not going lower than that because Eric was, like, so funny this season. So
Eric, again, Eric was really funny. That's why I gave it a 3. Eric brought the whole entire thing up. And I know they had the food fight. I was about to give it a 2. And then I saw that food. I was like,
so weird. All right. What's next? Does it hold up or does I continue watching? I forget.
Continue watching.
All right. Does I continue watching?
5.
You told me it's so hard to
base it on this.
It's so hard to do that because you said like this is like one of the worst seasons of Boy Meets World. It's like bottom.
But I'll say this: it has one of the best endings. It has the best ending
because of Mr. Feeney.
Yeah.
Because then that's the only reason I would want to see is because I want to see the end of Mr.
So it's
Feeney.
a 5.
You have a desire to continue watching. It sounds like.
Sounds like a 4.
Fine.
Because I'm looking forward to Mr. Feeney, but I'm not looking forward to any of the other. And I like Jack. Jack's a good character, in my opinion. I know he annoyed you, but I do like his character. I feel like I am Jack. I know, like, that's weird.
Yeah, kind of. I can see that.
I
can see that, yeah. I would give it a 5. I'm excited about next season, even though it's not that great. Does it hold up?
5.
What was in this that was very dated? I can't think of something right now.
Besides maybe the whole 2 guys chasing after the girl and Rachel's reactions.
Yeah.
Not a lot of this was super dated.
We skipped the Truman Show episode. There's a show where they spoofed the Truman Show. We skipped it, but that's pretty dated. But
yeah,
I think I like the B2 episode. I think there was some progressive stuff.
There was
in the season, especially for what this show was. It was a kids show. I mean, they tackled some stuff.
Okay, so here's the thing: does it hold up? No, but it doesn't hold up in the fact that it wouldn't be aired now because there's so much controversial things. It's controversial things that are really good that I feel like shows should start airing more of, but they don't. So would it hold up? No, but it's not because
I don't know why this wouldn't air. There's no reason why they wouldn't air it now.
I don't think they would ever have a teacher that would do that kind of stuff to.
No, I think that's perfect.
I
think this would get eaten up. It would be great.
I think it's too controversial. I don't think that they would ever show something like that on TV because of what's going on.
For a kids show? Is that what you're talking
about? For a kids show.
But this was TGIF. This is not. This was.
I mean, but the show is rated. I'm looking at the rating. The show is rated PG. It's rated TV PG.
Yeah. I think that's pretty PG. I mean, yes, it's a lot of it, some of it's implied.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect, because remember, this is on Friday nights. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yes, it's geared towards kids, but the kids they're gearing it towards now are teenagers. I think that's a good I think that's a message that they would go, oh, look at us. You know, no matter how, look at what we're doing. We're trying to show people that this is wrong. You know, to what to watch out for. I think people would eat this up and it would be great.
But honestly, they put
I disagree with that.
They kind of put some of the stuff in Girl Meets World, which we can talk about later. So I mean, I think they would put it in. I'm going to say 5 because I love it.
It's 5.
I'm going to say 4.
Break my heart. Okay.
Of course he does.
4.
We skipped one, guys. We skipped acting.
Damn. Fuck. This is a
You don't want to
5.
give it.
This is a 5. No,
It's a 5.
Eric was great. Eric was one of my favorite scenes is him trying to act very sensitive, and he's just like sitting next to the candle.
Hey guys.
Hello, Rachel.
Eric, what's the matter?
It's the children. It's the children.
The children? What children?
No, all of them. They're so little, you just... Please don't make me go on. 'Cause the world is a melancholy place where human relationships must rise to the forefront of our too brief experience on this insignificant swirling blue orb until we're extinguished like a flickering flame. Ow, that hot.
It's so good.
So good.
All right, last one is my category. I mean, I really want to do comedy because I think this season did really well. But
5.
Okay,
Don't do it.
I'm doing it.
Don't do no.
That's what I want to do.
What were you gonna do? No,
No,
fucking liar.
that's what I was going to
Fucking
do.
liar. What were you gonna do?
All right, next time I'll text you beforehand. But I laughed in every episode, so I'm putting
What were
a
you gonna do?
5. I was going to do that one. It's a 5.
You're a liar.
It's a 5. I'm putting you down as 5.
I want you to text me after we get done with this podcast of the real category you were going to do.
It was going to be comedy.
It was
I
not.
said I was going to do comedy, and then I felt bad because you said that you laughed, and I didn't want you to think I made it up, but that was going to be it. It was going to be comedy. All right. So, all right. Cool. It didn't be
I
Avatar.
give it a 0
Okay.
because I don't believe you. So add up the score with a 0, okay?
Nope. Even the 5. Cool. Well, we only have one more of these. It makes me sad, but I'm excited to watch season 7.
One more. Oh, I was about to say one more season. Yes, one more season or just fucking.
And then we're
free
done with the
points
podcast
for
forever,
Chris.
right?
Like I wish I really wish I had a show where I could just like, no, let's do this show for what is it, 35 points?
You thought it was
Very
gonna be
close to.
you thought it was gonna be Dragon Ball Z, and it wasn't. So that's on you.
I did not think it was gonna be Dragon Ball Z. I told you guys you were gonna hate this before.
Is it gonna be next week? Are we gonna give 35 points next week, John? What are we watching?
What are we watching?
I can already say he's not going to get that.
Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, yeah. So next week we are mocking. We are watching.
Oh, we're going to mock it, all right.
We are watching Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah.
Mighty Joe. Okay, so the reason I wanted to watch Mighty Joe Young is
So you
on
get the
Disney
least points
Plus. There
possible?
is there's an ape movie that is it a TV show or a movie that just came out, and it has. It's like something Allen or something like that, and it has to do
Alan.
with this.
I've never heard
Is
of
it
that.
just called
Alan
Alan?
the Ape?
Is it called Alan the Ape? I don't know.
I don't know. There's going to be a funny name for a ape. Alan.
The one and only Ivan is what you're talking
One
about.
the only Ivan, yeah. Is that the dude that's in it, the Breaking Bad dude?
It's Bryan Cranston, yeah, and it's on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. The one and only
Yeah.
Ivan.
Okay. The one and only Alan. Whatever.
Ivan,
I
yeah.
saw that. Ivan.
Okay.
Whatever. Shut the fuck up. Let me talk. All right. So I saw this and I was like, "There's an ape movie that I used to watch, and it's not an ape, it's a gorilla." But that I watched when I was little. And Mighty Joe Young, I loved this movie when I was little. I loved it.
Never
Oh,
seen
I'm sorry then, John.
So I watched this beforehand, like before I announced this to you guys.
You
that I wanted
did?
to
Oh,
watch
God.
this. Yes, I did. And I was just hoping that you guys would say yes. And I realized the girl in this movie never fucking wears a bra.
Charlize Theron.
100%.
5 points. Is that gonna be the category 7?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we've already watched this. We're gonna hopefully try to do this early or do next week early. We'll figure it out. But Yeah, I've never seen this before. And Justin, have you seen this?
You've never seen this movie before?
I've never
No.
seen this, and I wish I'd never had.
You watched it?
Yeah, we both watched it.
Yes!
It's a good movie.
Why wouldn't I have watched it? We were supposed to watch it by today,
Yeah.
and I wish I hadn't. So just a little preview.
I didn't mind it, John. We'll talk about
I got a lot of puns for this movie name, and they're not nice.
Mighty Joe Young, huh?
I'm excited to see it. Okay, well, yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. Yeah, I've never seen this. I remember when it came out. I think it bombed, if I remember correctly.
It should have.
But I do remember when this came out. I remember seeing trailers for it.
I won't tell you if it bombed or not. You just got to see the next episode.
This came out. This was like the trend of talking monkey, ape, gorilla
He didn't talk.
in movies.
Yeah.
Well, no, like the whole
Tarzan was out around this
the
time.
whole thing
you know?
of like putting a monkey, gorilla, or ape into
yeah.
the movie. You know, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
When did Tarzan come out? This came out in 98.
I think it's 99. 99 was
It had to be
That's what I
98,
thought.
99 because
That's what I
we
thought.
sang that Tarzan song at graduation.
Oh.
So
Do you have video of that?
I'm sure there is a video of that. You know, like it was like the really sad song or something.
You'll Be in My Heart?
Yeah, there you go. Well, apparently we sung that 4th grade graduation. I don't know why. It was really weird.
Why didn't you watch Tarzan instead of this? Okay, anyways, all right.
Yeah, well, why didn't you choose Tarzan? I like that movie.
I like this movie.
All right.
Well, I'm
I'm
sorry
excited
about
to-
next week then.
All right. So, John, where can you find us?
You can find us on social media, Another Man's Pod, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can find us on Twitch at Another Man's Nostalgia. You can also find us on TikTok at Another Man's Nostalgia.
Oh.
And that's something new. I didn't tell you about that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com if you have any comments for us. We put out new episodes every single Tuesday. We should. I don't think.
Why would you say that this week?
we messed up on a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But we usually put out new episodes every single Tuesday. So
And we make it up
please-
eventually. So
yeah. So please go check us out on anywhere that you're listening to us right now. What's the episode that you can watch? Like an
Watch
old
the-
episode.
have you watched
Season
throwback.
3, episode 5.
Oh, you know, a
Throwback.
big hairy thing in a movie. How about let's watch Jack, the Robin Williams movie where he hangs out with the 10-year-olds.
Well, why?
That movie
Why
sucked.
would we watch that?
He's a large hairy man. And he hangs out with people like that are really small compared to him.
Oh my god! I
Just
don't
like-
even know
just like
what
Mighty Joe
episode
Young.
it is, but it is Jack, and it's
I'll
a
look it up.
ridiculous movie. This is a ridiculous movie.
Hey, they finally changed
Oh.
their logo on iTunes.
Yep,
It took
I
forever.
did that.
What?
Yeah.
I did it, and it never changed.
Well, I just did that yesterday, and it
Oh.
happened. So
Okay.
I'm glad that you think you did that.
I did.
Anyway, we also have a Patreon as well, so you please go donate to our Patreon. There's different tiers to our Patreon. Our lowest one is $2. That will get those $2 will get you an actual episode that you can suggest to us, and we'll actually do the movie or TV show if it's in the 90s or 2000s that you suggest. If you
We
actually go to
can't
our
promise
Patreon.
we'll like it.
We no 100%. We've gotten plenty of suggestions, and I think I've hated every single one of them.
No,
But-
2 guys and a girl and a pizza. You love that.
You
one.
all have terrible. You all have terrible.
That was a
taste.
suggestion.
Yeah.
2 guys and two guys, a girl and a pizza. Or no,
Yeah. You
That
love
was one of the worst suggestions ever.
I fucking love that show. Shut up.
Anyways.
Yeah, so if you go to our Patreon and donate, you can. There's a bunch of different tiers. If you guys actually go look at that, we're trying to get our website set up right now. There's some technical issues when it comes to it, but we're trying to get it set up. It's gonna have our latest episode, and it's gonna have links to all of our Patreon stuff, all of our YouTube stuff. If you actually join our Patreon, there's a bunch of different contents on it as well. If you do different tiers. You see Chris playing video games over there. Do you see Justin playing video games?
No,
He's
there's-
supposed to.
There's apparently one that he made that we never saw. But
Yeah, I just gave
He's
up
like,
on
no,
it.
I made it, but it didn't load. Yeah.
I gave up on it.
okay. He played Pokemon Snap at one point.
Did you see his face?
No, you didn't see his face. No.
Don't. It's not even worth it. Don't.
Don't watch that one.
If you're thinking about joining Patreon to see Justin's face, don't do it.
That's
Well,
right.
perfect. I don't have to do anything now.
There you go.
You're
Did you
just
see-
helping me out.
On the website, I put Justin's face as Bobby from King of the Hill.
I saw it. Great choice.
It was great. I think it fits him perfectly.
All right, did you put the one where he's doing the hook'em?
I did
No.
not.
There's one he's doing that. I like that one.
I'm gonna Photoshop it and make it go like this.
There you go. I like it. All right. Let's get out of here. This is a long episode.
Good, I'm hungry.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week or at some point. We're gonna try to do early. We'll see if it happens. Mighty Joe Young.
Peace.